Pokemon VGC 2022 World Champion Eduardo Cunha caught cheating by Calyrex. The Mad Lad has broken his silence on offering free hack checks to the Pokemon World's competitors, but I don't even think he expected to catch the World Champion cheating once again, and he's breaking it down with a pretty cheeky tweet. So congratulations to Sabuna Switch, that's not Eduardo, for becoming a world champion Pokemon trainer. Eduardo's Calyrex was a clone that was obtained from her TradeBot thread in early April by Eduardo himself 2 weeks before closing. Besides knowingly using an illegal clone, the rest of his team is fine, but still using hacks. And the sweet, rewarding irony of cheaters in Pokemon, because the storyline developed that Eduardo has had the most dominant Pokemon Worlds run since Ray Rizzo did it a decade ago. Reminder, Ray Rizzo, also a cheater, and it was off the back of his Calyrex. So the one hacked Pokemon on his team being the one that defines his Worlds run, it's almost like cheating gives an advantage, because it does. You can't make this up. You can't write it any better, especially because the Pokemon Company hasn't been publishing teams. They haven't been doing the spotlights because everyone ends up getting caught as a hacker. We had what happened with Arash Amadi. In closing, his team is 100% hacked, and that's because the Pokemon Company published Arash's team, and it immediately backfired. The Pokemon Company tries to detach from that, but they still build a narrative around him that directly ties in to his hacking at Worlds. It's crazy. We also have a bit more of a breakdown. Since we now have the most recent World Champions rental team, we noticed that he used a Calyrex from Anubis with the ID that matched her trade thread. Sure enough, the OT and the trainer ID matched the specific Shadow Rider Calyrex set in her dumped Wooloo files. Eduardo himself requested the Calyrex on April 3rd, 2022. That's kind of like the next level of catching the hackers, where like, hey, free bot, and then tying it to the world champions and world competitors that are using it. He also requested a Blastoise and Regieleki, neither of which were in his final Worlds team. So even though the final Worlds team didn't have more hatched Pokemon, he has requested more hatched Pokemon from bots, knowingly hacking, and who knows how much of the other Pokemon he has used to train to gain an advantage were hacked, and how much of the other Pokemon on his team were also hacked, just done in a way that couldn't be detected. Kurt did it again, bringing just an unexpected way of catching hackers. There are also automated trade bots that trade when the requester provides a competitive set rather than a Wooloo. These Pokemon are generated per the requester's specifications from scratch and are not clones. Multiple players have used Pokemon from these trade bots many times, created to match their OT details. So also many other VGC players getting caught hacking because of using a trade bot. When Kurt initially announced that he was going to be doing this for Pokemon Worlds 2022, I wondered if he had a poisoned pill up his sleeve. Seems like he did. Pretty crazy stuff, and this is just kind of following the other free hack checks we have seen, where the Salt Lake City regional winner, first place, caught using hacked Pokemon. We also have Wolfeyvgc hacking multiple online events. We have Players Cup 2, and we also have the 25th anniversary getting caught with indefensibly, undeniably hacked Pokemon and cheating, but also the 25th anniversary using former world champions and also just like top finishers. Had pretty much everyone cheat except for the Japanese players. Again, it's illegal for them, so good that they're playing it safe. And then also the Players Cup 4 was just a complete hack fest where pretty much everyone in the top, and then mysteriously after this, after pretty much everyone in the Pokemon Players Cup 4 got caught with hacked Pokemon after Wolf got caught cheating, even though he's been exposed cheating multiple times before this, they just stopped posting their rental teams, so it became harder to catch, and they also got a bit more wise about how they hacked their Pokemon. And even after all this, the world champion has still been caught cheating. I'm probably going to have to make another video breaking down like the extended post of hacked Pokemon because there's some other really good information. You don't need to data mine a team to find some stray RNG values to determine that someone is hacking, but this is a philosophy I've carried for the last decade where yeah, full team of shiny Pokemon, of course that's hacked. No one that's putting hundreds of hours into training and then suspiciously arrives with flawless shiny Pokemon is doing it legitimately. So we have other notes that are kind of popping up about this. 508 EVs, completely flawless, same game. A competitive player likely isn't new, so why should their team be? They've been playing for a while, they have a stock from prior games. Yeah, that also makes sense. Same day, that's a big one. All of these teams, all these rental teams that are being posted, all the Pokemon are being obtained on the same day? That doesn't add up. Everything PP'd up. Acquiring 72 of these is torture and also not necessary. It is for like perfect competitiveness, like having a 0 IV dark type Pokemon in the Galarian Moltres. It's not going to matter, but it's going to be like that 0.1% just in case efficiency that a legitimate player is not going to do. Everything shiny, everything of perfect nature, because some things can't be synchronized, and sometimes like you're going to use a mint. If you haven't used a single mint on your Pokemon in your team, little sus. So a lot of that kind of adding up for hack checking. Also breaking down rental code uploads, which is something we just talked about. Weird how it's tapered off, you know? It's interesting to note there was a huge amount of team sharing when the game first came out, likely because tons of people playing the game on release and players hadn't accumulated enough in-game resources to have perfect teams, so sharing helped to compensate. But then, as the player base decreased and those remaining built up their resources, teams became less shared. Upload rate stayed steady from March 2020 into June 2021 and started tapering off as there were no tournaments until 2022. When events returned in February, the rate shot up as players developed the meta. So there we see it's like, oh, events are back. So yeah, we got a nice little bump up in team sharing. As the rate shot up, players developed the meta, and then it went back to a low rate. With many tournaments happening, we should be seeing a higher rate of rental uploads, but we see otherwise because players didn't want to reveal their spreads, which hasn't stopped them before, and players with illegal teams were spooked into posting PokePaste or codeless due to my previous tweets starting in August last year, and codeless is another big one. So let's go back to the main thread. So that brings us to the overall stats of hacked Pokemon. Japanese players are the least likely to have hacked Pokemon. Probably has something to do with the law that makes it illegal to modify or switch or have hacked in-game content. A guy got fined like thousands of dollars and faced potential jail time for genning Pokemon for someone else, and just having a hack switch is illegal. And also, Game Freak has made it in the past where if you're caught hacking at like the Japan National Championships, you have to return your prize money. And you also face, you know, punishment, like a ban. English players, majority caught cheating. And just because this is green and says legal doesn't mean their team isn't illegal. Just means it was hacked in a way that was undetectable, which is going to be more likely because of all the exposes that have happened. Simplified Chinese, very hacked. Europeans, oh, I broke it down back in 2016. There's like a European player hacking cabal going on out there. The third place European national champion was bragging about and defending hacking and using Pika Hex on Twitter and stuff, and I've exposed all that. Also, there was... oh man, what was his name? I guess I gotta pull it up for the video, huh? The video is top VGC players cheating everywhere, non-stop hacking at Pokemon Worlds, because it wasn't just Wolfeyvgc at 2016, it was just the deeper you went, the more hacking players you found, and a lot of it focused on Eskiro VGC, who then hacked Wolf's Raichu to give away, similar to how Wolf did it, and then we have the #1 Pika Hex, like Spanish distributor or player or something, but it's a picture of him at a VGC event and also has VGC in his name, which is kind of like another thing that you could just kind of see all the signals coming together and a lot of craziness. So am I surprised that Europe is like the dirtiest region? No. And then Korea, not as much of a sample size, 0.4. And by the way, as unfortunate as it is, your boy Sejun Park, not a legitimate player, all that Pachirisu stuff from a cheater. So, great. My rental team dataset is 9 times as big as the previous time I tweeted about cheating in VGC, so we can analyze the overall rental teams. That then goes into this massive write-up, so all kinds of cool stuff. And then overall rental code reporting is down compared to before I started analyzing teams this time last year. I wonder why. Like, we have VGC coming back. The world is not on lockdown. Pokemon World's the only Sword and Shield competitive event, but rental teams are down? International content creators and players are now more likely to be sharing pastes and screenshots or abstain from sharing completely. Suspicious. By the way, your boy Wolfie, where's his team? Seems like good old cheater Wolfeyvgc has something to hide and is scared of getting caught once again, especially again at such a large world championship event. And I love this meme. This is worthless. So showing a picture without the rental team code, yeah, that's worthless. You're just effectively sharing a Pokepaste, which again aren't the Pokemon you used at the event. So this is not a point towards being legitimate, like, oh, see, I'm sharing my team, I'm sharing the Pokemon I use, nothing suspicious here. It's actually points towards cheating. Usual flaws in modified data are still the same, missing raid seeds and home trackers. Since some players have posted multiple rentals, we see the same regenerated team data like last year's Regieleki. P.S. Blocking me on Twitter won't stop me from getting your rentals. Just kind of showing the same player with weird, inconsistent teams the entire time. So, February International Challenge, Korean Nationals, and Worlds, Self-Bred, 3 separate 6IV, and Incineroar all have different player IDs. Why? Incineroar 1 shares EC with Charizard. Impossible. Safe to assume everything is hacked. And then Regieleki is a trainer ID, secret ID sharing hack. Has the OT name, but uses the TID secret ID of other player name that is sourcing teams. Yeah, if we go back to everyone getting busted at Players Cup 4, lot of suspicious Regielekis. Luke's team was obviously generated via Pika Hex's auto legality mod, 3 flawless legendaries all captured on the same day, everything 508 EVs. Wow, you have the maker of Pika Hex saying that 508 EVs is a sign of hacking, because it is. Because if you train naturally, you're going to take over into 510, but the program is going to discard the 2 useless EVs. Will it happen on one Pokemon every once in a while? Sure. Will it be a full team? No. Israel's team has 4 sharing the same height and weight and the same encryption constant, so that has Regieleki, and Renzo's Global Expedition team was posted to Twitter. This is the 3rd different flawless Regieleki. This time it's not shiny. Why not repurpose the prior ones? Note that the original trainer is 0, prior hacks, usual meme, height and weight values. So, yeah, Regieleki, just when it had its moment, because Crown Tundra, it's hard to get legendaries for yourself, apparently. Just hack them all in. Reminder that Renzo is a very decorated VGC player. He was the Players Cup 4 champion, which is also why it's weird that he has so many hatched Regieleki, was invited to the 25th Players Cup Invitational, where he was busted for hatched Pokemon. Latin International Championship top 16 twice, regional champion 3 times, and then other champion accolades and world championship qualifications. Almost like cheating gives a massive competitive advantage, and that's why you see it at the top so often. Crazy. Neat looking at legitimate teams. More often than not, these teams source Pokemon from many games outside of Sword and Shield. So that goes into the other thing we've talked about. This is indicative that it's still not easy for players to obtain everything they need without outside game accumulation or external help. So what this means is that utilizing the new gameplay feature that was introduced with the DLC of going to the battle tower and then having a Pokemon home or like a transfer Pokemon be competitively viable with the battle stamp is still necessary, even though Generation 8 brought so much competitive quality of life. So the people that tried to dismiss cheating by saying like, well, it's so easy in Sword and Shield, it can't give an advantage anymore. Wrong. That legitimate players are actually like bringing over their legitimate Pokemon they've been using for a while, and then you're just seeing like all these teams popping up for Worlds being hacked because it's complete inorganic behavior in multiple ways. Then we have our post about the world champion hacking, and in closing, nothing has changed. I'm not optimistic for things changing going forward. Man, it's bad when the maker of the hack is saying that. And yeah, as you can tell, my optimism has been fading for a while. Wolfeyvgc, dead to rights. People still try to defend him. He still gets away with lying. It's absurd. Pokemon community is disgusting. Pokemon Company International is corrupt. I've proven that time and time again. Tournament organizers defending video game piracy and covering for cheaters, and then nothing is done, even though it's so blatant and so just obvious. At Worlds, Game Freak could have revealed new features with massive changes to accessibility, but they did not. So let's talk about the competitive trailer, just kind of showing competitive things. Again, just kind of playing blind to the whole situation. Scarlet and Violet will likely have the same hurdles, and cheaters gonna cheat. So that's what we have. Gonna break it down more. I wonder if we're gonna get like names and individuals coming out, because I don't know who this is. I guess we can look up Korean Nationals first place. After a little bit of searching, it seems to be this guy. So I guess, yeah, blocking me on Twitter isn't going to do anything. There's his rental team. And there's like the hacked Pokemon he uses. So 2021, 2022 Korean champion. So dominant run through cheating, and Pokemon Global Exhibition second. Wow, you keep finding all this scum floating to the top. Crazy. So yeah, it's gonna get crazier. I hope we start seeing some names getting published. That way there's like a finger to point to where it's like, world champion, caught cheating. This guy, caught cheating. Renzo, caught cheating. You know, all the top players. Do something, Pokemon. Let's make that the hashtag. Even though it's so late in the video, 5% of people are watching, and it's not gonna get any traction. But yeah, at least the information's still getting out there. And I'm gonna keep covering it. Kurt's gonna keep covering it. We can pray something eventually gets done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.